what? Welcome to the Shape of Horror podcast. I'm Bud. I'm already having all kinds of goddamn issues here. Wanted to jump in here and do an impromptu Scream 3. What is this thing called? The Assembly Cut stream. This thing just fucking. It's taken Twitter by storm. I don't know. I don't know if a lot of people have heard about it, but um, yeah, if you're on Twitter, this thing's everywhere. And then you couple that with the Scream 7 news that just broke yesterday. Lots to talk about here, but so this Scream 3 assembly cut. It was it, there's a Twitter account called Viewer Anon, and apparently he got his hands on this. And I'm not going to tell you where to go find it because it's kind of controversial. Because obviously, Paramount Studios, they are working overtime to get this thing kind of removed, scrubbed from the internet because it does have great value. So what is it? What is the Scream 3 assembly cut? What it is it's a rough cut that Wes Craven put together. It's like the first rough cut he put together before, they decided to go in and make edits, add things, whatever. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through it. I did watch it. Um, it is not very good quality. It's in black and white. It has all of the time markers all over it. Very rough cut. Uh, so if you're able to find it, uh, make sure, like I did, you own either a Blu-ray copy, a digital copy of Scream 3. Uh, I'm sure most of everybody watching this probably has it, but make sure you own it. Scream 3 was coming out in 4K Blu-ray in October. I pre-ordered that. Just go pre-order that. Let's support the art. I would liken this, you guys remember the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League? We all I think we're all fascinated. You remember the producer's cut of Halloween 6? That leaked much like this. They ended up releasing it. So here's hoping that Paramount Studios, maybe they can release this thing on Paramount Plus or whatever. But what was I saying? What is it? The rough cut. So what it is, it's 2 hours and 20 minutes long. I think it's 40 minutes of more footage. Not much change to the story. The killer is the same. It's just extended scenes from, they trimmed it down quite a bit from this. There's just a few, it looks like they went in and they changed the opening. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute. The opening is fantastic, and already the chat's hopping. Before it gets Roman Bridger director, there's more to that, apparently. That is a trimmed down line, and I'll talk about that. Joseph, the horror guy, welcome. Let's see here. Nick Push's horror channel. Oh, he's saying hi to you, Nick. Shane Emerson, welcome back. I haven't seen you in a while. He's going to start a petition to recast Chad as himself in Scream 7. I like it. But they'll have to kill you now. Then there's no more faking it. No more getting out of it. Let's see here. Allie girl, happy Thursday. Thanks for joining. You're always here. And I appreciate that. Wayne Turner. It's 11:03 a.m. Friday here in Sydney, Australia. I hope you stick around because you're going to have to learn some shit. Things have been going crazy here with this Scream 3 stuff. Let's see here. I believe the script during most of the filming, there was 2 killers. I don't think so. After watching this rough cut, I don't think so. I don't believe it. Maybe in the script, but I don't think they even filmed anything with who is the killer. What's her name? She's playing Sidney Prescott in Stab 3. Let's see. One of the chicks, I can't remember her name. Yeah. What? I can't remember her name either. This assembly cut does nothing to help her character at all. I thought she was kind of annoying. But let's talk about the differences. The opening. So you remember in the original Scream 3, Cotton Weary in the car, 405 traffic traffic jam, helicopter hovering overhead. That is all still there. It all still starts there with Cotton in his car, you know, talking about, how he complaining about his part, talking about some ideas for a movie, a script that he has, and he takes a phone call. So what's different? The voice of whoever it's a different voice from what we know as Maureen Prescott. It's a female voice. To me, much more creepy. I don't know why they changed it, but what do we get here? We get it's a little, it's a lot different. Cotton, he thinks he's gonna have phone sex with this girl. She mentions that, yeah, it sounds like Cotton Weary. Um, all pretty much the same, but he mentions, about having phone sex. And but it devolves. Instead of, when we find out it's Ghostface, we never hear Ghostface voice till the very end of this opening. So it stays the female voice pretty much all the way to the kill shot uh, of Cotton Weary. And in this version, she asks him a question about a horror movie, and it's so fucking brilliant. I can't believe they didn't leave it in there. So the question is, what was the name of the car in the movie that runs down teenagers? It's like it has its own spirit, runs down teenagers. Do you guys know the answer to this? Cotton should have known this because the answer is, of course, his girlfriend. Remember, her name's Christine. That is the answer to the trivia question that Ghostface asked. So the question was, if you get this right, your girlfriend lives. And dumbass Cotton, he's like, "Oh, it's Carrie." No, it was a movie called Cujo. He never got it. Uh, so the race was on. Ghostface is in a car, apparently a couple cars ahead, pulls off. A chase ensues. It's a race to get to Cotton's house. And then Cotton, of course, gets there first, pretty much the same. But this time when he goes in, there is no trace of what's her name, Kelly Rutherford, who played Christine. I think they definitely changed the opening, so they went and cast someone as Christine. So Cotton walks in and gets another phone call, and it's from Christine. She says, he's looking all over for her, and she says, I'm at the gym. What the fuck's going on? I hear, cop sirens and everything. What the fuck? And he's like, just stay there, wait for the cops. And he's kind of looking around, and then Ghostface calls on the next voice, like he cloned her voice, but calls back with I guess Maureen's voice at the time, and starts taunting him or whatever. Tells him, you know, you're really close. Look in the closet. And he opens the closet, and Christine's already dead. It's a different woman playing her body. And then as he turns around, Ghostface busts through the door, stabs him. Pretty much the same scene like we know, and reveals finally we hear that it was a simple game, Cotton, and then pretty much the same opening. And then what we get here from the rest of the way, we get Sydney's part. I don't think she in the original cut she came in uh, right at the beginning, pretty much after the credits. It starts with Gale. She's in her little thing at the where she's talking to college students, talking about what it takes to be a good journalist. That's all there. The cops come in, just like, and then the very next scene they cut to Sydney, and they kind of spread her out. It seems like she's in the movie a lot more than she was in the original cut this time around to me. And it's, pretty much all the same, just some extended stuff. Um, so really good stuff. Not much change with Sydney. A little bit more with her dad. You remember the scene with her dad? Turns out, he just showed up right after her big dream. She was already freaked out, and he showed up on a Friday night, and a little bit more. She cried in his arms. A lot more stuff there. Um, what else? Sydney or more spread out. Okay, Randy. You guys remember Randy? Let me go to the chat before I get into Randy. They fucked up here with Randy. But if you had to choose, would you rather have Stu brought back to the franchise or Cotton? Oh, that's tough. As much as it would be nice to see Stu, someone mentioned Liev Schreiber. He's an amazing actor. I think it would be cool to have him back. I don't think they should have killed him off. I thought that was a mistake. Would you have Danielle Harris in Scream 3? Of course. Have Danielle Harris in Scream 7. Let's see here. Cotton was a missed opportunity. Yeah, he was. I mentioned that on a stream I did probably with Nick or Jake. Um, what it would be like to see Cotton, 20 years after the events of Scream 3. It's been like what, almost 23 years since Scream 3 came out. So maybe Scream 6 when they go to New York, maybe he still has a talk show there and we catch up with him. That would have been cool. Christine, yeah, Allie got it. Let's see here. A lot of people talking about Talk to Me, great disturbing Aussie supernatural horror. Also, God, I can't even fucking talk tonight, people. That's what happens when you rush these things. Yeah, Talk to Me is apparently very popular. Getting a sequel. Don't know what the hell it's about. I'll look it up. Shane Emerson, thanks for tuning in. Enjoy work. Maybe come back and watch this later. Let's see here. Too bad didn't find out he got crabs from Marine and Marine got them from Lance Henderson. Okay. Lance Henriksen. All right, so back to Randy. So you guys remember they go to the set. Martha shows up. She has a videotape that Randy made in the event of his death at Windsor College. And what was in this, it was a lot longer and it was a lot funnier. Like Randy at the beginning, if you're watching this, I didn't make it. He was like, I can't fucking believe they killed me off. So he's basically saying, I'm the voice of the audience. How could they kill me off? They need me. Big fucking mistake to kill me off. And then he goes into his long spiel about trilogies. And then he makes a joke at the end right before he signs off. Because he died. Scream 2 came out in 1997. So at the time, Star Wars Phantom Menace, episode 1, they were just probably going into production on that. So you guys know Randy, he's a huge film geek. So he no doubt he was probably excited about Star Wars Episode 1, Phantom Menace. And he made a little joke and was like, that sucks. I'm gonna miss episode 1. I bet it sucks. And that's how he signed off. Thought that was hilarious, and I can't believe they didn't keep that thing as is. Kind of a mistake. So some of the other things, they kind of added a little context. Ghostface, Roman Bridger, has his little voice machine, and he's able to clone everybody's voice. Well, they actually have a scene in here where they show how he's done it. He records phone calls that he's made with everyone, and he has a voice algorithm, and he burns it onto a little CD disc. It's like a little CD disc within a large disc. Puts it in his computer, burns all the voice on there, the voice algorithm, and that's how he does it. Ahead of his time. You think he could probably do that now. Roman Bridger, smart killer. So yeah, like I said, still one killer here. I think it was always going to be one killer, Roman Bridger. You know what? Let me go through my slides. I didn't even do my slides. There's the Cotton phone call. There's the little voice changer I was talking about. There's a little disc that goes, it like folds open, puts the disc on there, has all the voices on it. There's Cotton's death. This was all the same. Um, I know in the original cut they made it look like he was in his office. This was actually right in front of the doorway. Same shot, but right in front of the entryway. Well, like I said, Sydney kind of spread her part a little bit. Another thing I want to talk about is Dewey and Gale before I get into Roman Bridger. So this also has a lot more, you know, Dewey and Gale obviously split up after the events of Scream 2 again. And it really has a few more subtle scenes about how they still love each other, a lot more flirting, just a lot more stuff here. Not much more with the Jennifer Jolie, but you could tell she was a little bit jealous, but it didn't seem like they were kind of coming together as much. They had a lot more stuff to do here. That's one of the things I really liked the most was more Gale and Dewey. Nice love story. It's a shame they had to ruin it by killing off Dewey. All right, let's get back to Roman Bridger. There's the Randy video. Oh yeah, Sarah Darling. Her death was a lot more fucking gory. Like she kind of went through and there was like a quick stab, um, kind of cut away. And this one, man, she has a huge gaping wound in her back. Like stabbed her in the back and drug the knife down. Kind of like Dewey's death. Pretty fucking gruesome. I could kind of see why they trimmed it down. And they kind of made her more of a bitch when she was pulling into the studio a lot. They had a little extended where the guy's asking her for her ID and she's like, "My face is on the fucking poster, you dumbass." Kind of made her a lot more mean. Very interesting. So not anything new with sadly with Jennifer Jolie here. Pretty much all her everything that they had in this cut was in the final cut. So sad to not have more there with her. Roman Bridger. So what this assembly cut did, they did a couple of things. First, Roman's dialogue when he revealed himself to Sydney, he didn't use a ghost face voice. He used his own voice, so he was talking uh, without the voice changer. So when he revealed himself to Sydney, he has the mask on. You can see his face moving, but it's his voice, so it's Roman Bridger. They still had the same fake out death that they had. Didn't change anything there. And one of the things that was is revealed here is that Roman Bridger was such an amazing criminal mastermind that he had the whole world believing that Roman Bridger was 36 years old when in all actuality he's 27. So Sydney's like, "You'll never get away with this." And he's like, "How the fuck am I not going to get away with this? I'm 20. Maureen Prescott's son is 27 years old, and the whole world thinks that Roman Bridger is 36 years old." And, pretty much the same about, you had the fame and the stardom. Now, their final showdown, no guns were involved. You guys remember they went, I guess they went back, did some reshoots where Sydney comes back. She has the little gun. Apparently, the only gun she had a cool line when she pulled out her gun about, "I brought my friends, this is Smith and Wesson," and then unloaded her gun. She didn't have the little pea shooter. Um, so no gun battle between Sydney and Roman. It was all with ice picks and knives. So he didn't shoot her, and we thought she was dead. And she comes back to life and reveals she had on a bulletproof vest. None of that is there. So, like I said, 2 hours and 20 minutes extended Scream 3. I kind of see some of the decisions they made with the final cut. The music in this was a little bit rough. Um, but overall, man, I think it would be smart for them to just outright release this. I know the 4K Blu-ray is coming out in like a month and a half, so it's probably not going to happen. There's not enough time to happen there. But what they could do is maybe put this on Paramount Plus, on streaming somewhere. I don't know. Hopefully, they have all the original footage and they can do this, man. They can't release it with the way it is. They really need to put it. It's in black and white, like I said. They need to release it in color. It's fun. It's fun if you can go find it and watch it. It's hard to find. Like I said, Paramount, they are taking these things down, but I think you can find it on Google Drive. It's really tough to get through because if you like close out of the video and try to go back, it's hard to kind of get back to it. Took me about 2 days to finally watch the whole thing. But like I said, I own Scream 3, all of that. Let's get back. Where was I at the chat here? Um, someone had a question. Demanding to be killed off. Oh, you think Liev Schreiber demanded to be killed off? That would have been good business. Everyone is expendable in a trilogy, except they weren't. You're right. Gale's bangs, they are the same horrific bangs. Nothing changed there. They did have a scene between. So you remember the scene where Gale falls down the stairs? She's down there with Ghostface. Ghostface is passed out, and she calls up to Dewey, and she's like, "Come fucking help me! I'm stuck down here." And he's like, "How do I know this is you?" And she's like, "Of course it's me. You know, damn it!" But don't you think that's what the killer would say? They kind of extended that a little bit, where he asked her, "Well, what were you wearing? What were you wearing the night when I first met you?" And she's like, "Well, everybody's seen the fucking movie Stab. Everybody, of course, the killer would know that." And then he thinks a little bit and asked her what he was wearing the night that they had their first kiss, and that's how he kind of. She really didn't really convince him. Ghostface, jumped up, tried to attack her, and then he came down. And this time, he actually shot Roman. Remember in the original cut, he shot the gun and it was jammed or whatever. And this one, he actually got a shot off and shot Roman right in the shoulder. Had on the bulletproof vest, of course. You guys might remember when he tore off the bulletproof vest. I think he had a bullet in there, so that explains that. But it makes Dewey look a little less stupid, in my opinion, in this initial cut because his gun didn't jam. But Ghostface was able to still fire the knife and hit him in the head. A little bit of dumb luck. Let's see here. Joseph the Horror Guy, you need to rewatch Scream 3. You do. Let's see here. Oh, Roman Bridger. When he revealed himself, he didn't say Roman Bridger, director and brother. He said Roman Bridger, director, Stab 3. That's what he said. So they did change a lot of his line. I don't think they would have split up after every movie like that. Let's see. 2 favorite characters. Blake, welcome. Or the chest of Jenny McCarthy. A little bit more of Jenny McCarthy in this. And they also had another scene with the cast after. What was it after? Who died second? Was Cotton? It was after Sarah died. They had the rest of the cast together, and they talked about Sarah's death. How they figured out that the killer was going in the order that they died in the script. They were talking a little bit more about that, and the guy playing Dewey and Sydney, when he was like, "It's not going to be us because we're the only 2 survivors in the script." And then there was another one where, remember where Gale finds out that she's next to die in the script. Well, Dewey told her when they got in the truck that don't worry, it's a fake out because you come back later in the movie. He told her that she was actually going to be the killer in the movie. In the original cut, it was you remember when Jennifer Jolie was getting stabbed, she yelled out to Ghostface that I'm the killer. I can't die. But Dewey actually told Gale that Gale was the killer in Stab 3. A lot of fun stuff. Thanks, Joseph. I enjoy having you watching. Jenny McCarthy or Carmen Electra, go. Don't ask me to choose. Blake, do you see her and Carmen Electra in that bikini shoot a month ago? Yes, I did, and they look fan-fucking-tastic. They do. Oh, hang on, I'm just send a text real quick before I get back to you. Let's see here. Jenny McCarthy married Donnie Wahlberg. Yeah, I know. It's sad. They have the connection to Saw. He was in Saw. They did. They looked amazing. You guys need to find it. Like, aged very well. Roman sucks as a character. You're wrong, Mikey. I don't know who you are, but your takes are a little. You're wrong about Roman. He was I think he's moving up the list as one of the best killers, in my opinion. Let's see here. Hope Scream 7 will be good. I'm about to talk about Scream 7. Big news on Scream 7. Have a good night, Joseph. Patrick Dempsey, any more of him? Yeah, so you remember when, Gale finds out that the cops are waiting for her in the lobby after she's addressing all the students? Well, she goes out there and you hear Dewey's theme song playing, and you think, oh, the cop that is there to see her is Dewey, the police. And there's like a stand up picture of Gale where they're promoting her appearance here. And there's a guy standing behind it, and he's, the Dewey theme's playing, and he steps out behind it, but it's not Dewey. She's dismayed to see it's not Dewey, but it's in fact McDreamy. It's Patrick Dempsey. So yeah, little funny moment. So it just shows you that Gail still has Dewey heavy on her mind, on her heart. She was excited she was going to get to see him. Nice little touch they threw in there. That's one of those things I talked about how they fleshed out with Gail and Dewey. So let's get to Scream 7. So you guys remember last week Christopher Landon revealed as the director of Scream 7. Well, a couple of days ago we found out that they're actually going to looking to shoot this thing in January of 2024. So that, we have the big writer strike going on, the actor strike. So that tells me a couple of things. Number one, the script probably was written prior to the writer's strike. I'm just going to guess. I know there was some talk about it. So I'm guessing the same guys who wrote Scream 6 wrote Scream 7. They're going to be filming January 2024 and through April in Montreal. So that's where they shot Scream 6. Does that mean that they're going to be in New York City for Scream 7? Very possible. So something to keep an eye out for. We could be going back to New York City. Jenna Ortega will be back. She's going to be filming Scream 7 before Wednesday season 2 next year. I think Wednesday season 2 is probably a little bit delayed, so they're going to accommodate her shooting schedule by shooting in January through April. And the working title of the movie is Blackbird. That's what they put on all the markers all around Montreal, so nobody knows they're filming Scream 7. So if you're in Montreal and you see something about Blackbird, know that Scream 7's coming. So that's the news. So wish I had more, but Scream 7 is coming, so everybody can start speculating what it's going to be about, where it's going to be. Jenna Ortega is going to be back. I'm going to guess the core fucking four will be back. Probably Gale. I don't know about Kirby. They need to do her right. So hopefully Kirby's back. But more importantly, is Sidney Prescott going to be back? Seems like this was a concluding chapter of the new trilogy, Scream 5 through 7. So hopefully they will bring her back. So get your questions in. But have you listened to Richmond and Richmond yet? Yes, I've heard it. It's apparently the hottest song in the world right now. I sympathize with the message, but the song is horrible and annoying to listen to. I'm sorry. My unpopular opinion. Scream 7 needs to be more unpredictable and original, not just a clone of 3. I'm going to guess that they are following a pattern, it looks like. Scream 1 back in Woodsboro, Scream 2 off at college, not Windsor College, but Blackmore College in New York City. So I'm wondering if we're going back to the stab set. Could it be? Maybe in Los Angeles? And maybe we'll only get one killer. I think they should do one killer. One thing I did notice about Scream 3 is the fake out really, like, when you look at it, you think Roman Bridger's dead. There's really no one else to really. Maybe that's how they do it. One killer, they can keep it hidden till the very last second. Wayne Turner, I hope Kirby is revealed as a secret ghost face in 7. Will explain why she's so hopeless as an FBI agent. Also, Gale and Minnie for opening on live TV. You said that the other night. I don't want. Mindy is going to have to talk to Ghostface in this one around. I think it has to happen. They've been setting it up. Obviously, it's probably going to happen. I think Maureen Prescott and Stu should be the killers in the next one. That would be tough. It'd be tough. Maureen Prescott has to be what, fucking 80 years old at this point. How's that going to work? How about Roman had a twin brother? Like Maureen Prescott birthed twin brothers. That would be interesting. Bring Scott Foley back. I like this, Allie. It's going to be Sam eventually. I'm afraid that would be like maybe she was the mastermind the whole time. I kind of like that. Danny back is bigger red herring, not incest brother of Sam. I wonder. I'm sure he'll be back too. Yeah. Maureen's still getting some in the sky. Whatever happened to Billy's father? What about Tara and Sarah? What's her name? Samantha. What about their mother? Richie's mom. Yeah, there's still Richie's mom out there. Stu's sister is still out there. There's still a lot of viable suspects. We'll see if they kind of tie this all together. But what's great is it's coming. There's another one. Principal Fonzie's dad is back for revenge. Fonzie's like 90. So his dad, under the dirt, Richie's mom has got it going on. God damn, Nick. It's all bullshit, Ronnie. What is all bullshit? I need to know, Ronnie. What is all bullshit? About Scream 7? About the Richmond of North Richmond? All of it. I think he's talking about the working title, Blackbird, that they're filming in January. It's quite possible it could be, but a lot of people who are in the know on the last one, they're the ones putting this out. Viewer and on Brittany Vinyl, who's a great follow. Go follow Brittany Vinyl. Very good, probably the best source of Scream shit on Twitter, Brittany Vinyl. What if the new character is read from the Necronomon? I can't even say that. Necronomon. Oh my god. Bring back all the killers from the past. I'm all in for that. I mean, it's already ridiculous. Let's go nuts. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. Yeah, they still have Joshua Jackson out there from Scream 2. And now Tara's dad. Like her stepdad? What's his name from Group? Could be. A lot of speculating, a lot of good stuff about Scream 7. They should have just let us write it. I hope they clean up the plot armor, the plot problems. And, people, if they're stabbed horrifically or they can't survive, let's just let them stay dead. Well, I think, this is probably a good time to cut it off here. Anybody here? Let's get me back on. Does anybody notice my shirt? Jaws 2, the original poster. Got this from Gutter Garbs. One of my favorite shirts I've ever purchased. Allie loves Josh Jackson. These new movies are all about Richie the Killer. Will be Richie related. I don't think so. I think they follow the pattern and then they take it back, like Randy said, the rules, like something we thought was true but wasn't true, and it's Samantha, or maybe even Tara was in on it. What a twist that would be. Just read the working title for the new one. It's In Search of Tara's Titties. Just a matter of time, I imagine. Prediction: people will love this movie, people will hate this movie, and everyone will argue. And Nick Push will have his ass planted firmly in the center because he's unafraid to take a stand. I appreciate it, Allie. See if you can get one. They have a couple different Jaws 2 shirts. Like Gutter Garbs, Fry Rags, man, they're pushing out all the good stuff, man. I'm having to break the bank. I have a Friday the 13th Part 5 shirt coming. I have a Halloween 2 shirt coming. I have an OG Halloween shirt coming. They're just bleeding me. Yeah, Blake, great shirt, fresh shade. Things are looking up. Yeah, all cleaned up. Ali says Nick and I will be in the center. We are France. France sucks. France is probably not long for this world. What are you laughing at, Nick? Oh, about having your ass firmly planted in the center. All right. So I'm going to wrap this up. I have an announcement. Big announcement for everybody that watches. You watch Take It to the Grave. We're going to be back next week. I haven't firmed up the actual day. Take It to the Grave with Nick and Bud. Let me get Nick's laughter off of here. So we're going to go back to a top 10 list this time so everybody can participate. No, Ronnie. Blaster is not back. Blaster is retired for good. He does not have the time anymore. He's a busy guy. So he's not going to be back. Trivia, we may have an announcement about that. I might do it solo, but Take It to the Grave. You guys want to know the topic? Get your top 10 list ready because me and Nick, we're very excited about this one. We're going to do the top 10 final girls in horror. So you take all the final girls that were ever. Doesn't matter if it's a big franchise, a one-off movie. Top 10 final girls. Get your list started, and we will give ours, and then we'll read yours. So we're excited to be back doing top 10 lists. We will finalize the date, and it'll be on Nick's channel. So he will schedule the stream. So be sure when you see that, hit the notification bell. That way you're ready and get to work. Somebody mentioned trivia. I'm going to do a trivia in the near future. I'm not going to announce what it's going to be yet, but I'm working on a trivia. And I will do probably 2 trivias in October. One will definitely be the final exam for the Halloween franchise. I'm going to do that. It's going to be like a 40 or 50 question. It'll encompass all Halloween movies in one quiz. It's like we were in school together, and we're going to finally test who knows their shit. So, sorry, man, I didn't mean to put that on there. Here, I see a couple of comments here. Let's see here. Gonna be Friday. Blake's gonna be Friday the 13th heavy. I can understand it. There's so many. I think everybody likes it. He got blastered into space for a horror movie in space. There are horror movies in space. My first pick is Dylan from Bud Light. We have something in common. We were here. Let me show you. Me and Dylan both got our own commemorative Bud Light can. So me and Dylan were kind of co-workers at this point. So pretty exciting. Let's see here. No fast forward trivia. It's going to be the Shape of Horror podcast trivia hour or some shit like that. Blaster going to put an open sign up soon. Maybe. But I doubt it. Fast and Furious trivia, no. There's no way. No, Jake is not in Maui. I talked to Jake today. He's fine. But yeah, so I think about 40 minutes. Sorry I bumbled through this. I had a presentation. I totally forgot about it. I can't bring the beard back, Allie. It'll always be like a 5 o'clock shadow, unfortunately, till they get rid of that policy at work that I can't talk about. It could happen after the first of the year. Pray. Wayne, are you the guy that punched the kangaroo a few years ago in that viral video? That kangaroo was like getting up in his shit. Like the guy's trying to walk away, but that kangaroo would not give up. He goes on H2S jobs. No, I do not. I don't have any line breaks, Blake. No line breaks. I'm an I&E. Instrumentation and electrical. I should be able to have a beard. It's ridiculous. Yes, my boss, akin to George Steinbrenner. Like I said, maybe after the first of the year. If it's after the first of the year, all bets are off. That's what I know about trilogies. All bets are off. I'll see you guys next week on Take It to the Grave. Thanks for tuning in.